Believe it or not, there are reasons why you might not want to move to Florida, and I'm going to cover those in today's video, so please watch reasons why you might not want to move to Florida in today's video. Even though so many people love and flock to Florida, there are some things that you might want to consider before you end up moving or consider purchasing property in beautiful Florida. But before we dive into the video, thank you if you've subscribed. And if you haven't, please subscribe so you don't miss a video from me. I show the lifestyle. It's about real estate and educating you about the real estate here and showing you great listings, of course. But we want you to meet the locals. We want you to understand the market here and just kind of the like what's here. I mean, like there's so much rich culture here. So I want to be that resource for you, and I want to hear from you. Listen, if you're a buyer, whether you're buying now or down the road or 10 years from now, I want to be your agent. I've been here since 2002 and I want to represent you. And whether you're thinking of selling, you want to upgrade, you want to downsize, there's always a time and a place to buy and sell real estate. So my number is 941-544-7690. I didn't even have this on my list of reasons why not to move to Florida, but I just happened to see this. It's alligators. I guess that could be a reason why you wouldn't want to move to Florida, although I don't think that'd be too high up on the list. Alligators, are there any back here? I don't see any. Goodness. Okay. This is Benderson Park, by the way. Moat Aquarium there. They have, this is like the big rowing facility off of University Parkway. They had the Olympic rowing here. But reason number 2 would be the weather. And by that, I mean the heat and humidity in the summertime. It gets to be pretty unbearable. I've been here since 2002, like I said, and some summers, the August and September can be pretty darn brutal. And I mean, you can be walking outside and you're just like dripping. And I'm like, I just put the shirt on and you're dripping. So that can be pretty unbearable. So if you're not prepared for it, if you're really strongly considering buying and living here full time, maybe just visit in August and then you'll get the idea as far as whether you want to deal with it or not. I know Texas has the same kind of weather too in the summer. So I guess we have to pick our battles, right? Number 3 reason would be traffic during season. Now, I would say there's some caveats to that. Yes, traffic, everybody wants to be here during the best time, the weather related season. But if you're on the islands, even more so, because it really gets bottlenecked. Because if you think about it, there's usually 2 bridges on each of the islands, pretty much. Some are drawbridges and some are not. And so, yes, during like commuting hours, it can be a bear. So if you don't have to drive during commuting hours, I would suggest kind of doing your trips or day trips or errands outside of those hours, and you should be pretty fine, or just allocate an extra 15-20 minutes. But you know, it's not bad all year. I would say January, February, March, April are peaks, especially March and April with spring breaks. May is really blissful because the weather's not too hot yet, but there's less traffic. So May is a really sweet spot. And I also find October to be a nice sweet spot for both weather and traffic. Reason number 4 why you might want to not move to Florida: love bugs and termites. Bugs? Ugh. Termites. Okay, so we have termites here. It's Florida. And the ways that you mitigate termites are a couple different things. Of course, if you have a wood frame house, you're going to be more susceptible to termites. There are treated wood that you can buy if you're building that is pre-treated, that is supposed to be resistant from termites. The other things you could do is have like the built-in Centricon system. You can also do the in-wall tube system with your builder, or if your builder provides it, that is an in-wall pest preventative system where they spray in the walls. It prevents it from inside and out. And another way to mitigate that is with you know, having your landscaping not touch the house. So keeping it away from the house, because the termites kind of travel through the landscaping that touches the house and gets into the house that way as well. And then the love bugs, I think it's like May, like the month of May, where they mate, and they're just a disaster for keeping your car clean, especially your windshield. I mean, they can really damage your vehicles. So Love bug season's kind of not great. It's not really that cool. And kind of in line with that would be the pollen and allergies. That would be another reason why you might not want to move to Florida if you really, really have an issue with allergies. I think Texas has a lot of these same kind of issues that we do, but not only does your car get like super like that yellow film on it, but you're going to have stuffed up issues. But I mean, I don't have allergies, so I've never had the issue, but I know some people do, so that could be another reason why you might not want to move to Florida. I think reason number 6 would be insurance. So because of Surfside, I did a whole video about insurance. It is something to consider. Our taxes are a bit lower than the northern states, but our insurance has risen, especially if you're on an island or you're within 3 miles of an island or you're lower lying or you're in a flood zone. These are issues that our state is facing. And one of the reasons why insurance has gone up is because of the lawsuits. When the roofers went around to the homeowners and presented like a fraudulent reason for them to have to replace their roof, saying it was covered by insurance, and there's this whole scam, and therefore all these lawsuits came about, which has really bumped up our insurance. That and the Surfside collapse and the preventative measures required, coupled with the natural disasters, which is reason number 7. If a home is a high baseline elevation, they should have lower running costs. Properties on the mainland might be more your cup of tea, right? Places that are not in flood zones, that are newer properties further away from the water frontage and susceptibility for flooding and things like that would be ways to mitigate that and work around that, because we want you here in Florida. All right, I have 2 more reasons why you might not want to move to Florida. Number 7, I think, is natural disasters like hurricanes. I don't know if you would classify red tide as natural disaster, but that's an issue. Hurricanes, hurricane season is half the year here. We don't have wildfires. There are sinkholes too. Are those natural disasters? But mostly people, when you think about natural disasters in Florida, you think hurricanes. So we do have that, and it's just something that we learn to live with. And ways that you can mitigate are some of the reasons I've already talked about in terms of like the quality of the build, the location, and all these factors, having good insurance or over-insuring or under-insuring. Some people self-insure, so that's another way around it. If you don't have a mortgage, people do self-insure. I find that when people are buying property here, though, they still want to know the insurance costs. So that is a factor as it relates to insurance and hurricanes and natural disasters. But we've got some great insurance agents that I've worked with for many, many years that you can shop the rates and figure out what's best for you. Last but not least, I think all of that encompassed together is the last reason why you might not want to move to Florida is just the cost to own. The cost to own property, therefore the cost to rent property. As rental property owners too, we have to pass some of that cost on to the renters. So especially short and midterm rental property costs have gone up. To rent that same property last year is more this year, and so on. And a lot of that's because of the insurance. So the cost to own has gone up, but we don't just sell luxury, we sell affordable housing too, like family housing. And it's just kind of a fact that people kind of have found out about Sarasota. I've said for a long time that Sarasota has been undervalued. Look, we have like the best beaches in the world, in my opinion, and people have found out about it. When the pandemic hit and everything like that, it kind of forced people out of certain states, and for lots of different reasons, medical and otherwise, political and otherwise, that we don't need to get into. I think you can read between the lines there. But people want to be in the sun. They want to have that option to be outside all year long, or have a home here that they can come to all year long that is great and positive, and there's sun, and have all these outdoor activities. Like I said, I'm at Benderson Park here. This is a world-renowned park now, and it's right in our backyard. So but at the end of the day, I want you here and I want you to work with me. I would love to be your agent. I work really hard for my clients. I do want to hear from you, and the goal of this channel is to educate you, but I want to hear from you. So I want you to call me or text me on my cell. It's 941-544-7690. Or if you prefer email, it's shaylatwit@gmail.com.